Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review Time. Today we've actually got BelKits latest release. This is the 124 scale MG Metro R64. To say a pocket rocket is an understatement, and if you're a certain age like myself, you'll remember these cars as being not very good. To be honest, horrible. Honestly, I've owned two as well. But yeah, so this particular one though is the racing one, which was the nice one, which has just tons and tons of power and not a lot of weight. And as anybody knows, that really is a good thing. Anyway, BelKits have brought this kit back to us. As you can see, very, very nice box art on the front there from, I would have to say, probably the heyday, shall we say, you know, the 80s, the Lombard RAC, Jimmy Recray and all things like that. It's that thing where, you know, it certainly takes you back if you're of that certain age, that's to put it like that, okay? But anyway, as you can see, nice bit of box art showing it in action, and then obviously some details about it on here. Kit number for this one is BEL016. And there's a few things down here. It is a licensed product as well, so amazingly. So anyway, all about BelKits just down on there like that. So in your box, you are greeted by a very nice setup. So we've got a little pack here. I say I haven't done BelKits for a while, but I've never known them to do that before. So we've got actually a sealed pack keeping your decals beautifully flat and nice. Okay, we've got some very nice instructions. And again, fully detailed instructions. I have to say, I haven't done a BelKit in a while, but this seems to be an upgrade just looking in here. Okay, we've got various chrome parts, as you might imagine. We've got lots of rubbery parts, and there's your decals and some pre-shiny bits. We've got some core. We're assuming you're going to be making harnesses out of that. Decal clear parts, and then obviously we've got the vehicle itself. Various sprues, as you can see, running down here, all individually bagged. We've got a gorgeous piece of photo etch as well. This kit keeps giving, doesn't it? Okay, and we've got those, and then we've got a box. So in the box, we also find the chassis. There is the chassis. Fantastic packaging, have to say, you know, and the instructions look pretty good as well. So is this a turning point with them? Anyway, as you can see on the instructions, this isn't the normal instructions we're used to. These are highly detailed, very nice CAD type things, the way of showing it all together. Good areas pointing out different colours to be used. So obviously we've got some things about in Humbrol colours and some things in others. Make your own mind up there. Okay, and then going right the way through, showing the decking. So again, fully detailed engine, really nice thing. And it's amazing you can fit an engine of this size and power inside such a small vehicle. As I said, having owned two, I wouldn't have thought that was possible, but as you say, that's why it's got big bits all over it to hold it together. Anyway, working our way through down here through your engine, putting it actually down onto the chassis, as you can see just down in here. So again, it's not like probably you're imagining this actually goes, as I say, it's round the other way. Okay, and all the power obviously being sent to the rear. Okay, so usual thing, we're working our way down in here. We've got all the parts being added to it, obviously suspension system, and again, nice touches with this one. We've actually got photo etch, as we've seen on these, and a few other little parts in here as well, which is beautiful work for detailing the actual brakes and stuff like that. So again, that all being fitted down and in. Obviously you've got the actual plates underneath as well, being a high sort of hard life going across country, you're going to need plenty of that. Okay, tyres and hubs, obviously we'll have a look at those in a moment. Some more of the parts going over here. We've got the suspension system being fitted to the front, and obviously the drive system going to the rear, and all these areas, as you might imagine, down in here. Okay, and then obviously the drivetrain being covered up by these plates underneath, wheels on, and then you're into the interior. And again, fully detailed interior as you make your way through in there as well. So lots of detail going through, things like batteries, and then obviously we've got extra parts being fitted down in here. The safety gear, obviously for the harnesses, we said before, is a ribbon, so that's quite nice as well. And then working our way in, then obviously we've got the driver stations being fitted in there. Obviously steering wheel being fitted, the radio equipment, some extra dials, things like that, was put over across. Okay, and then obviously working with door cards, and then, you know, the roll cage being fitted into this one, which is going to be quite a bit. So as you can see, all the roll cage being fitted down into these and all the way across, as you can imagine, going in. So what you're actually ending up with is a highly detailed kit of a very iconic car. Okay, so again, it's to say it's a Metro is a stretch after it's had all this done to it, but you can see all the bodywork going into it, giving it that distinctive shape. Obviously got the light bar fitted on the front from the night sections and all the rest of it. That's a huge upgrade onto this one, and then obviously all your final parts being added onto it. We're assuming all ready for, get in, There we go. The actual mating up from the actual chassis to the body down onto this one as it goes through. And again, you've got the light guard, got a cover on it as well if you wanted to have it on like that. Colour call-outs, again, can't go wrong with the blue scheme right the way into this one with the Lombard RAC markings all over it. And then Novaphone onto there as well. Pretty much what you'd expect. Imagine the power of a V6 engine crammed into the back of a Metro. Just if you don't know this car, but you might know somebody of a certain age who has, they'll understand that that just sounds like ludicrous madness. But there you go. That's what they did back in the day. Anyway, looking at some of the parts, so as we can see down here on the close-up, we've got a couple of mirror parts as well, so they're chromed, and we've got the MG badge just down in here as well, so that's a beautiful little touch. All right, we've got that photo etch we were speaking about, as you can see, very, very nicely done, really nice details in there. We've also got a bar in here, and we've got a couple of pins as well, so again, very, very nicely done with those. Okay, we've also got, as we said before, a little bit of ribbon here which is sort of doubling up as your harnesses. All right, so you can use that, or you could go down the aftermarket route if you wanted to. And then down in here, again, we don't really need to get these out because it's quite nice, but as you can see, we've got the tyres, got a nice slinky tread on them, and all your rubbery parts. So we've got some wiring done down in here, and leads, obviously I assume this is the HT leads, again in this very flexible one here, so that's quite nice with all of those. All right, we got chromey bits, so again got the light bar down the back, and obviously the normal headlight ones and a few little ones as well, so pretty standard in that. Then this bit, which is obviously the good bit. Can I get in here? Trying to find our way in here. No, we're going to have to cut our way in. So, oh dear, talk about fight me on the way. Okay, so there it is, that classic body with all the extra bits. Again, craziness. Very nicely done. Good level of detail right the way off the bat on this one. Good solid plastic. This is, I mean, proper solid. There's not a lot of give in this. It's actually very nicely done indeed. Okay, you've got the hole in there. I presume that is for the aerial, which is what that bar's for. Okay, and then round the back end. Again, none of the doors are going to open, but I don't think they did in real life, did they? Did they actually have open doors? Maybe they did. Okay, but again, very nice. On the internals, there's not a lot to see in here, but there's no massive ejector pins. You've got a couple up here in the roof, but that's about it. So very, very nicely done indeed. Okay, so that's very nice. Okay, so into the sprues. We've got, there's only right a long way to go through these, so we'll just grab them as we can. Okay, so this is Sprue D. Okay, so Sprue D basically, as you might imagine, has got a lot of the exterior parts down here. So we've got spoilers, we've got front splitter, the lights, and then some of the smaller parts on here. So again, looking on the close-up, that front splitter with the front bumper system, very nice as well. So I would say there's your lights, wing mirrors, and then rear spoiler, and then obviously you've got windscreen wipers, some of the small fronts, grills, various parts like that. The side pod intakes, okay, down in here, and a few other spots. So we've got wing mirrors. I think that's probably something off the manifold, rear view mirror. So again, really very, very nice. Again, good solid. All the ejector pins are pretty much flush. There's nothing sticking up or anything else like that, and they're not sunk down. So again, but I think they're pretty much out of the way. We have got the odd little sink mark, but you're not going to notice it like this guy up here. But to be honest with you, it's on the back side of this. It doesn't make any difference. So that's pretty good. Then we've got, we need to look at the decals. We've missed those. Okay, then we've got the actual body and chassis down in here like this, and the door cards and the seats, as you can see, very nicely done. All right, so if we just look at the floor section, really nice, no problems, looking good. We've got the inside of the body. That's looking pretty darn good, as you can imagine, right the way through. Again, good solid detail into it. This isn't just like pushed through and it's sort of there. They're actually proper solid. The seats as well, these are good solid whole seats. There is a little bit of a sink mark, like we've got a little one in the back here. Again, you might want to just, you know, a little bit of filler in there, take care of that, but that's not necessarily a problem. Door cards, as you can see. But again, it's nice to have this level of detail down in here with the actual engine. Obviously you're going to see all this if you want to. Really nice detail. Okay, and then so it looks like we've got a little bit of the roll system, we've got the engine, the various parts down in here. Really very, very nice indeed. So if we start with the engine, there it is, there's the lump. Very nice indeed, good solid strength. And then as I say, we've got some roll bars in here, some various parts, internals. We've got the pedals, bits of dash, we've got the steering wheel there, various things. We've got the instrument panel on the front. There we go, another little bit of roll cage on there. And again, on the other side, really very, very nice. Again, we speak about it a lot, and I know you're going to paint it, but the plastic doesn't look like plastic. It looks very much like bandized plastic, where it must have a paint or something into it to give it a good solid look into those. Okay, so down in here, again, more parts. So we've got more of the running gear down here, exhausts, and then obviously we've got the bottom of the engine, the various parts down in here like that. Okay, so starting up here, we've got some of the suspension system and the steering. We've got the skid plates underneath, another skid plate there, and obviously we've got drivetrain, rear axles, and there's obviously your brakes. So you're going to enhance with your photo etch and your dampeners and all the rest of it. Exhausts, shafts. Okay, there's your drive shaft. There's parts of your engine again. Okay, there's the roll bars, the various things in there. Very nice. There's a little bit of flash down on this one, but all the parts seem absolutely fine with it. And when you're looking at the very small stuff down in here, there's not a problem. They're not actually on the parts at all. On the blind side, again, very, very nice and clean. No problem with that at all. And to be honest with you, there's hardly any burring whatsoever on any of the parts. The sprues are all very nicely done. Okay, so two different types of wheels in here. Okay, so as you might imagine, we've got the different hubs and then the various parts for the inside. We've got tops of the engines and things like that. So as you see, there's your difference with the wheels. 5-star. We've got your 7s, okay, and then over here we've got parts for the engine again, more detail for the engine, some of the areas around it. So we've got the tops of the engines here. We've got the air filters, things like that. We've got the rear spoiler at the back. Again, all very, very nice indeed, no problem at all. Good stuff on the back. And again, even got detail down in here on the backs right the way through. So again, very, very nice. Okay, then we've got the clear parts, which as we imagine will be totally crystal clear. And they are. And to be honest, as you can see, no distortions or wobbles or anything, as you might imagine through these. These are absolutely crystal. No problems with that whatsoever, any of that. Very, very nice indeed. Okay, last up is these decals. So we've got little bits of things. This is actually a really thick bit here. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, try that again. Okay, so, oh, these are beautiful. Very, very nice. Hopefully you can see those. Very, very nice indeed. So again, you do have the options for the decal, so you could use the old foil trick and do it that way. But generally, if we start at the top here, you can see really nice. You've got nice metallic finishes down here on these as well. This is proper gold. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up because it hates reflections and things like that, but it is proper gold trim with the Nova phone and obviously with the racing, things like that, with the shell oils, the number plates. C759, look at that. Okay, and then obviously we've got this panelling, which is the slipper underneath. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very nice indeed. Beautifully done. There you have it. I have to say, this is so much more. Often I speak about, sometimes I'll get reviews in and I have them in the pile, and like here I've got around about 20 kits to review, and you look at it and you think, I know what's going to be in there. Actually, I didn't. I had no idea this was fully detailed, gone right the way through. Also, I have done BelKits in the past, but they haven't been of this quality right the way through. The instructions are absolutely beautiful. These are you know, the way that they're actually done and they're laid out and everything else like that. Good, nice, clear instructions to follow right the way through. The parts are beautiful. BelKit stuff tends to be like that anyway, but the level of detail right the way in there. So not only have you got all the actual running gear underneath, but the gorgeous engine, that massive engine in the back. Okay, so you know, what's not to love at the end of the day with it? It is absolutely amazing right the way through. So you can show and display all that work in there as well. And again, the decals, they're a work of art on that, and they are beautifully done. Good, solid, vibrant colours all the way through, and with the metallic areas on those, which isn't easy to do, the clear parts, the rubber parts and everything else, it actually makes this kit an absolute must. It is a gem. And if you are of a certain age, you know, if you are a 70 child, you'll remember these and would remember having the posters up on the wall and all the things that go along with it, and following along on a Sunday or Saturday afternoon on the telly, stuff like that. So it definitely is one of those nostalgia builds as well. But anyway, there we go. That's the BelKits 1/24 scale MG Metro 6R4.